Hello, my galaxians. Wow, do we have something special to talk about today? That's right, Gala Music. The token is going to be launching. Should be this week. We definitely know that it has basically been confirmed. We're going to have a couple of exchanges. I'm guessing Huobi. Okay, this is a guess. I don't know for sure. But we're going to have a couple exchanges that are going to be going live with the Gala Music token launch. Extremely certain it's going to be this week. My concern is though that it's not going to have any like US exchanges, and I don't know which ones to use with a VPN to kind of do all that fun stuff. So I'm counting on you, the community, to go ahead and set up a Uniswap. Maybe I can even put in the liquidity. Somebody's got to run over that with me. And I say put in the liquidity because I don't want to sell my Gala Music token based on the white paper that we're about to go over. Because I think, it's going to go uppity up as we kind of jump into this white paper, this hat, we got two of them I want to give away. If you comment down below in the comments, hat, H-A-T, I'll go ahead and enter you in, and then I'll ship it on over to you if you are the winner. So two of these. You can see it has some green on it for the green screen showing through there. All right, let's jump into this white paper. Everybody wants to know some tokenomics and some goodies. So I mentioned this at the beginning because of where we are with music, okay? So during its test phase, music attracted more than 88 artists, 6.8 million streams, and 162,000 account holders with 94,000 test tokens. 13,000 track owners had more than 11,000 active Gala Music Jukebox operators. So they changed that. So the nodes are called Jukebox operators. Man, I should pull up an image of a jukebox, okay? Yeah, that's something your maybe grandfather or great grandfather used if you're like Gen Z and you don't know what that is. Yeah, there's over 25,000 of them, but only 11,000 been running right now. They got the Stage app working right now, which has been working very, very smoothly. No different than like a Pandora or Spotify. And the All Access store has saw 1.2 thousand items that were redeemed, with over 1 million of that platform's test token beams being burned in the process. So the burning is going to be important. Something they're going to add to that app is tipping in Stage. So if the artists are doing any kind of live stuff, you're going to be able to go ahead and tip them in Gala Music, which is pretty cool, right? So we're going to skip over the introduction. You can always pull up this and read all through this stuff. We want to get to the good stuff. So you can always go back. Now, big thing, max supply is 1 billion. As we read through this tokenomics, though, you're going to realize we're never going to hit 1 billion. We won't even get close to it. Maybe 500 million at some point, years and years down the road. So the test token, which is beams, which is everybody's been earning with their nodes and their tracks, is going to be converted to music token at a 1-to-1 ratio. So this conversion is going to be about 75 million music token, okay? Right now, I think there's about 55 million beams out there. The extra 20 million token is going to be distributed to what they call legacy tracks. So these are tracks that basically people had purchased and maybe were even running before any beams were being produced. So those are maybe from like the Snoop Stash box holder folks and stuff like that. Here's a quick breakdown of the initial distribution. So we're gonna initial token going to be 150 million of it put out there. 150 million is going to be liquidity or whatever Gala does with their side, and then the other 75 million is going to be for all the beam conversion and everything as we kind of move forward. So one thing that they do have is they have plans in place for an eventual full decentralization of the network. Well, the reason I bring this up is because on Gala Film, they made it very clear that over a 10-year period, the percentage of how much token they get, Gala gets goes down by like 5%. So after 10 years, Gala gets no film token, which I thought was super cool. So I'm assuming they're thinking about doing something similar like that with music. So we'll wait and see if they put something out. They said right now it's under legal review, economic review, yada, yada, yada. So just to clarify, node owners, you got to be up for 20 hours to get your, music token. Along with the track owner gets the other like half of that music token on the jukebox. So if you obviously own the jukebox and you own the track, you're going to get the full amount rewards from both of those. There's also a segment of node owners that are going to operate. Like if you're operating your node, you're going to get a percentage. It's 10%. And we'll get into that breakdown in a nice little graph here in a little bit. I did want to point out, so listeners who actively promote this platform, engage in a number of promotional activities, you're going to be able to earn some music if you're like really effective at promoting Gala Music and bringing people into the ecosystem, essentially. So the supply schedule. The music token is going to adhere to this dynamic supply schedule. It's going to be governed by this cool mathematical formula that I'll show you here in a minute, which is basically kind of like a bonding curve, okay? And this is to make sure we don't have an oversupply or an undersupply. And that can be found in like a fixed supply schedule. So the bonding curve, it calculates the amount of the mint allowance created as a result of new music tracks being made. And then it'll also increase when like the token utility increases. So a lot of words. We'll get to some graphs here in a minute. So what they have going on here as well is the amount of mint allowance generated by one newly minted track decreases as the circulating supply increases. And obviously that'll result in the token supply growing slower than the utility of the token, which of course will create this systematic shortage of the tokens as the ecosystem grows. Okay, so I do like it. Here's the cool like mathematical formula in case you want to take a look at it. Yeah, math. We all like math, right? And then here's a nice little chart to kind of show you what we were talking about as when, you know, minted tracks or tracks are minted versus the token supply. So as more and more of the token supply is out there, what's going to happen is essentially you're going to have this nice kind of curve. So if 100 tracks were minted right now, that would add like 220,000 music token to the mint allowance pool. And then of course, as the token supply gets bigger and bigger, you can see we continue to drop down and down and down. Man, this pink, anybody else's eyes like, whoo, we need a cool down version here. I marked all this up because I think this is missing a 0. We'll have to confirm with Bitbender. But basically it's showing the existing token supply and then the music mint allowance that would be generated by 100,000 tracks or 100 tracks being minted. So you can see as the supply gets bigger, which we're starting at what, 150 million is going to be the distribution, and then the mint pool is going to be 150 million in there, but that doesn't count towards the existing token supply. So we're probably going to end up around, you know, that 20% soonish. And so every 100 tracks minted is going to be about 102,000 music token added to the pool. So this is going to be a burn and remint kind of token, similar to how Gala is operating right now. So the music, of course, is burned in any kind of purchases in the all access store, along with any other ecosystem related features such as like stage tipping. I'm assuming maybe a portion is burned when you purchase the tracks too. I don't remember if all that just goes to the artist or not. And then, of course, this reciprocal token mint and burn mechanism is going to ensure that we have a sustainable operation and it doesn't get all kind of violent with the equilibrium, essentially. So there's your track mint. It's replenishing that mint allowance pool. Also, any kind of burn is obviously going to go into that mint allowance pool as well. And then it's 0.15% of that mint allowance pool will be distributed. Okay, that's the simple numbers for it. So each day that 0.15% of the mint allowance pool balance is minted, distributed to the ecosystem as the reward. Initially, they're going to drop 150 million tokens into that mint allowance pool, which is about equivalent of 15% of the total supply cap at token launch. So 90% of that 150 million mint allowance will be distributed over 4 years, regardless if like nothing's going on the music platform. Okay. Obviously, we're going to be having stuff going on, so I would assume that we're going to get more token out faster than that 4 years. Essentially, we want to let everybody know, right? Everything that's built on galachain is going to be using Gala as the gas fee. I keep trying to push that, and people are mentioning, well, why another token? Why another token? There could be multiple tokens, whatever. It truly isn't diminishing the Gala token, okay? Because the Gala token, the utility, I know people haven't seen the utility for a long time, so people are concerned, but I'm telling you, once things are really going hot on the Gala chain, I mean, already we've had a ton of Gala burned by bridging and stuff with all the Miranda shipwreck box recently. And of course, bridging in and out of the platform costs Gala to do so. So that'll be beneficial to just the ecosystem in general. Of course, we got our CerTic audit letting us know that the ERC20 is compliant for music. So that's obviously a good, warm feeling. Gala's using this, quote, proprietary popularity algorithm. Of course, they aren't going to say what that is, but we'll go over some features that are likely in that. And then we finally come to the beautiful chart that everybody wants to see. So an initial 50% of the daily mint is allocated to Gala music. Gala takes 50%, okay? This is the remaining 50% kind of breakdown. And of course, if you care what Gala's going to spend it on, they list a couple things there, but we know generally what a business spends money on. All right, so here is your beautiful breakdown. So if you own a Gala node uh, like Jukebox, you're going to get 10% regardless. So it says right here, node operators will receive 10% just for running and contributing it to it, right? And then you'll get an extra 25% based on listens and paired tracks. Now your daily track owners are going to earn 25% of their, of the music token if their track's being played as well. So if you add all that up, if you are a Jukebox owner and you own a track, you could be getting about 50, it's 55%, right? No, it's 60% of this little pie chart here for your music distribution. What's incredibly cool, at least I think this is amazing, because it just shows that they care about the founder node operators and giving utility and value to them. They're going to be getting 5% of the music beam distribution daily as well, which is incredibly cool. And we'll probably hear some founder node owners complain that they're receiving like 0.01 music or something. If it adds up, it adds up. If it doesn't and it's just sitting out there, whatever. Okay. Don't complain about free stuff, I guess. The monthly music artists and then the daily music artists. So music artists are going to be able to get 5% of that beam distribution. And then there's these really cool things. We'll go over what the artists can do for like monthly stuff, basically to kind of compete for that other 5% there. And then they're going to hold back 25% for daily ecosystem supporting actions, which of course is in Gala's court of what they determine that to be. So token allocation for tracks calculated using their proprietary popularity algorithm, with the daily music mint amount being derived from the mint allowance pool. So 5% of the non-Gala distribution is going to go to the founder nodes. Woohoo! Daily non-Gala distribution, 5% to the artists, as we see here, through the popularity algorithm. And the monthly one is basically if they're doing stage, like live parties, listening party performances, number of all access experience redemptions. Those are the things that are going to benefit the Gala music artists for that 5% like monthly that they're doing, however that's going to work. Real interesting. We'll see how that works. I think that's cool. We want to incentivize our artists, of course, to be really active and engaged with us. City of Sound is very engaged with us. September Morning. I'm trying to think of who else I see all in the Discord all the time. So here's some of the things, if you care about what goes into that for the artist, there are many actions which could potentially qualify as ecosystem supporting behaviors. That's, oh, wait, this isn't for the artist. This is just if that other 25% of the pie. If you share music, if you initialize a node for the first time, pair a reward earning track, bridge tokens into galachain, refer a friend who completes certain actions, your referred friend refers a friend who completes certain actions. So that's kind of cool. How basically you can get some additional Gala music if you're doing these ecosystem supporting actions. You know what I noticed that's not here though? Bringing in artists. Could you imagine if there was some incentive to bring in a really, really cool artist like City of Sound? I mean, wouldn't that just be super cool and a big ecosystem supporting behavior? Yes, I think we should think about that, Gala. So the popularity algorithm, the way it works is on platform stream counts, number of unique listers, external platform popularity, exclusivity status on the music platform, track virality on social platforms related to Gala music. So, like I said, if you have a Jukebox, make sure you're running it 20 hours a day and that you have like some kind of valid track Jukebox pairing if you want to earn obviously more than the 10%. That's all you got to do if you own a Jukebox, okay? If you own only a track, this is where they kind of break this down. If you own only tracks, you have no Jukeboxes, okay? First off, your track has to be paired to a Jukebox, right? Which you do in the community pairing. And then you yourself must listen to at least 10 songs on stage. So you open up the Stage app, make sure you're logged on, listen to 10 songs a month. That should be super simple to do. I'm going to be doing that anyways, even though I own a Jukebox as well. So the track upgrades, we're about to come into this section and really explain how this is going to work. And you really want to listen to this, because if you are grabbing some of these signature edition tracks from somebody who gets popular, you could really be making some big Gala music rewards. So from now on, basically tracks, when they're put out, they're going to be able to be upgraded in the future. They're called track, and they're going to have track tiers. They're designed to reward people who are early supporters to early artists, and of course allow fans to participate in the ecosystem at a lesser or lighter level. So basically the very like early bronze artists, right? They're going to be able to put out only 100 copies of like a track, right? This is going to be called a signature edition. It will be the most expensive of the track tiers at $100, okay? But it also has the lowest quantity and will have the highest distribution multiplier of all the tiers. And we'll look at that graph or that chart in just a second. Now, the platform reserves the right to, of course, purchase 10% of basically any tracks that come out, which they tend to do, whether they want to drop it to node owners or whatever. And so the popularity of the track, if it gets really, really good, blows up, then it goes to the next rarity tier. Now, if you own that signature edition, when that happens and it bumps up to the next tier where another 300 tracks are now released of this song, you automatically get one of those tracks, period. And then, of course, you already have that first track, which has a much higher multiplier. And then as it continues to go, so if it just blows up, you could end up having like four of these tracks, each with their own like distinctive multipliers. Which I think is really, really cool, right? I wonder if it's gonna blow up though, where like if you get the next free one and then they hit the third tier, do you get a free one from that second tier free one that you got? Because then that'd be like three or two more, right? I think that would make sense if it was like that. That'd be pretty cool. So these legacy tracks, they will not have any further supply released in any rarity tier. So basically tracks that are already on the platform, there won't be any further tracks. They're not going to upgrade them or anything like that. Now, high rarity tracks are going to be more expensive, but they have the high distribution multiplier, which we'll show in a second here. And if there's, for them to hit the next tier, there has to be no tracks left to purchase from that tier, of course, and then whatever criteria the music platform like sets and needs to be met. So here we go right here in this nice little basically graphic formation. So you can see the supply limits 100, 300, 1,000, 3,000, and then unlimited, and kind of the price of it going from 100, 75, 50, 25, and 10. So you can see the signature edition is going to have a distribution multiplier of 20. So if somebody came in at the standard edition purchase and purchased one for 25 bucks, their distribution multiplier is only going to be 5. Not to mention you would already have the extra editions as it progressed and upgraded to each one of those. So there's the criteria score. We don't know how that really works though, how to get those scores, but 100, 200, 300, 400 is what they got to do to upgrade. And then these pink common tracks are basically just like promotional tracks that they can kind of toss out to anybody. Now, as the platform continues on, becomes more self-service, there'll be artists who can come in as an entry-level tier. Now, those specific entry-level tier tracks, I think, I don't know if they're gonna what they're gonna cost or kind of what is gonna happen. If they have to meet a certain criteria, I think. So an entry tier track doesn't qualify for any distribution rewards. If the track upgrades to an open edition, holders of the entry tier tracks will be dropped to free open edition. And I don't know how much those are going to cost as we kind of move forward. In keeping with promises, of course, the BT orbs they mentioned here, this is pretty big. First off, you'll get this like little percent bonus to beams being distributed. What really matters is if you own a limited edition or open edition, okay, which, man, open editions, this is going to be cheap, basically. Might be cheaper to buy an open edition orb versus spinning music to upgrade your jukebox and add tracks. You'll be able to receive an additional slot in one of your nodes if you own these and hold these. These slots will stack. So you can buy like 5 open editions and you'll get 5 free slots, apparently. I think this is not yet. So yes, it's in the future. So they're working on it. It's not live yet. So the loyalty points in the all access store. So that all access store is where you're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to purchase, you know, cool experiences from whatever artist. The quantity of your tokens held and the duration of the same are visible to the public, providing a means to verify that fans are loyal on the blockchain to a certain artist, and the concepts referred to as loyalty points. Now, locking the tokens against an artist does not have any return associated with it. So it's not a staking mechanism in any sense. It simply provides an on-chain proof of your dedication to that artist. That artist can, at their discretion, use those loyalty points balance of a user to offer you like first opportunity purchase, special experiences, gain special access, all that kind of fun stuff. Lately in the past, what it's been is basically allowing you to purchase tracks early and before, you know, anybody else is able to like purchase tracks, you know, like signature edition or whatever. So you can jump in there before somebody else. What is extremely cool about the All Access store is it will be non-exclusive, meaning any artist out there, if they want to, they can come onto the All Access store, build in there with us, put out any kind of entertainment related content, access content, So what's really awesome about this is they can actually test out Gala music, right? They can come over and say, hey, I'm going to check you guys out and I'm going to go ahead and put some all access store on here, let my fans know about it and see, like, is this something that I want to be a part of? And then maybe that'll upgrade them to, or, encourage them to come onto Gala music and do some track drops, which would be awesome. Now, when you purchase anything in the all access store, 50% gets burned in the music, and then 50% is transferred to the artist of that all access drop. Okay. So, quick couple of things about decentralization. If you own a jukebox, essentially you're going to be able to create and then vote on monthly playlists, which will be featured on the music platforms. You could be able to vote on some physical stuff for events, some moderation if you really hate somebody and everybody's like, man, this is a horrific artist. We can actually like boot them essentially, have votes to do that. Possibly, this is maybe put to a Gala music vote for like platform changes. So this is maybe okay. So some cool things there for Gala music fans, basically. So as always, I am hoping that somebody makes a Uniswap pool, because this will be the easiest way to kind of do stuff with your Gala music token. Personally, because of the way the algorithm is set up and the way the emissions are going to work, I'm probably going to sit on the music token for a while here, let the bull run take over, wait till the degens are just buying quote music token like crazy, and then maybe I'll sell half of it or something like that. Always a guess, not financial advice. I don't know anything special. As always, I hope that wasn't too boring. Stay warm, Wookiees.